I have no idea.
Okay.
No idea. All right, so the contact me page, and I'm going to put the link to the Trello board checklist. This is just one of the pages for your site, but you guys know I'm a huge proponent. Everything on our sites should work for us. So let me grab the link for the Trello board. And as we're going through, as always, you guys can ask anything, but we're gonna go, for those of you that want to build this as we're on the call, you can absolutely do that. So that way, if you want to have something done, I know Tanya was really excited about that, you can. So and we're going to come back to this. You know what, let's start here first. So big picture, and the numbers match up with the Trello board, and we'll go into Kajabi as our kind of third step. But the first thing is, what purpose is the contact me page doing? And on the checklist, you'll see I've identified a few of the different questions, because you don't want to put everything on the contact me page, but most people will click on it, and FAQs are a common thing to put on there if you are using where people can book calls with you. Having your Acuity calendar there makes a lot of sense. So it's, what purpose do I want this page to do? For me, just handle the bulk of customer service stuff, and have a way that if someone wants to ask their specific question, that they'll fill it out. I would say my own contact me page, I usually get about 10 people a week that send something through. And typically they have found me on YouTube, they've made it to my site, and then they have a very specific question that they didn't want to put beneath a YouTube video. So you'll know your audience, you'll know what they're typically asking from you. So that is what's the purpose part. The second part is, do you have a templated page? And we'll work through that in Kajabi. But if you've heard me talking about this before, I'm a huge fan. Always have a standalone templated page for your business, so that when you need to make something, you don't have to build from scratch. You can go in, grab your template, clone it, edit it for its purpose that you need it to serve. And it just, besides keeping your brand continuity, in check, because everything's the same because we're cloning the page, you don't mistakenly forget to update something. You put the work in once, and so it allows you to leverage your time. So that's the big picture. And now we'll go on to the Trello checklist, just so I make sure we are all on the same page there. And you can everybody see Trello? Yep. Okay, perfect. So let's get this. So this card, if you type in contact me on the search bar, so from the board, and I put the link in chat, if you just type in contact, if you don't have a search bar, it's because you don't have a Trello account. So you just need to click the link and get a free Trello account. You don't need to buy Trello to use these, but you do have to. The search bar only shows up once you have a Trello account. So on the checklist, so we're going to start right up here, and that is what is the purpose? So this part, this is going to change depending on how your business ebbs and flows. So I would say, what's your primary purpose? Like, I want them to be able to send me a question. Great. Is there something that I could put on this page that is something else that I want them to do? Do I want them to subscribe to my YouTube channel? Do I want them to know that there's a podcast? What is it that you want? Any questions on this first part, as we're trying to figure out what goes on a contact me page?
What category does this checklist live under on Trello?
Website, dashboard. I think it's in the last, it's the last card on the website dashboard. Okay, it's good. Okay. So the other piece that I do is once I know, okay, what the purpose is, then take a moment to sketch it out. So you guys know I will use the digital whiteboard, but piece of paper, sticky notes, any of that is totally doable. You don't need anything fancy. But when you're going into Kajabi, you want to have a rough idea of what you want the page to look like, because it just makes your decisions easier to make. So if I draw a blank page here, I could sketch it out. So I could say, you know, I want the contact me to be up here. I want the FAQ, and I want, let's say, podcast. And since we have Encore now, which is that is the new theme, most of you are going to choose that for sure, because it has the most recent stuff and you can make it look the coolest. As you're looking at it, I always say, you know, when I put something down at first, I'm like, oh, do I really want that? Maybe not. Maybe I would like them to read the FAQ first and then have the contact me. So that's where the sketching piece to me is always, it's worth the 5-10 minutes to figure out, what do I want the page to look like? What is best for my audience? And the nice thing about FAQs is you can use, Kajabi now has the FAQ grid, which ends up, and I'll show you all this, but it has, I think it defaults with 4 boxes that do the accordion function. So if I click the plus sign, like the whole box opens up. So it doesn't take up a lot of space, but it would let you easily put in 4 of your most common questions that might save someone from needing to reach out to you and then answer a question. So that is when I'm talking about sketching out the page, that's what I'm talking about. Any questions on that part? Yeah, Tanya.
Okay, so I know I should probably know this, but when you say you're going to build it in the Encore theme, how do I know that the page is in Encore?
Yep. Fantastic question. Let me go into Kajabi and we will show you.
Thank you.
Yep, no problem. So we're going to click over to Kajabi. Okay, so when we are here, if you already have a templated page and it is in Premiere, you can just clone that one, not a big deal. But if we're looking at a page, so we'll go underneath, we'll open up pages. Okay. So I'm going to show you a page, and I'm going by dates because I know when approximately Premiere became active. So this page should be a Premiere page. And look, this is how we're going to figure it out. So we're going to click Customize. The really big differentiator between figuring out, do you have a Premiere page or an Encore page, is the Encore pages have both desktop and mobile settings available. So if I open up a block right here and I kind of scroll down this left-hand side, I don't see anything that says desktop settings and mobile settings. That's your easiest way to figure out, oh, this is a Premiere page. So if you have your templated page and it's made in Premiere, use that one, because you don't want, if it would keep your brand continuity the same, because most of your other pages would be in Premiere. So
Okay,
now,
because I just, oh, sorry. I opened up one of mine and in the corner, I can see, like in the bottom right corner, I can toggle between desktop and mobile. So do you think this one is Encore then?
that it has to be Encore. Yep.
Oh,
Okay, wait, no, hold on. Show me your screen, because there's a
Okay.
there's a difference. In the lower right-hand corner, that's just the display. So it is,
oh,
yep. So the lower, that's a Premiere form.
so I'm imagining that all my pages are Premiere pages, which I feel like then I should maybe make a new template in Encore.
that would probably, I would. Yeah, because
Okay.
you'll use it, and you can go through it while we're doing it today, and then you
Okay.
have it for sure.
Gotcha.
But that
Okay,
is
so
Premiere for sure.
okay, so you'll show us.
Yep. So now I'm going to open up an Encore one. Okay, so we're going to go to new page. And at the top, again, all of these are Encore. Anything that you're looking at on this first screen, it's all the functionality of the Encore theme. So the top, I just call these the black and white templates. Functionally, they are all exactly the same. The bottom part, which are more the glossy magazine starting points, that's just because the Kajabi designers put in colorful images and messed with the margin buffers and the size of different boxes, but they're all exactly the same. It's just the starting point is obviously a little bit different. So for a your templated page, if you like one of the templates, just start with one of those. And that's where I've said, go through and look at them, spend an hour looking and be like, oh, that actually covers most of what I want. If you don't want Encore, here, that's why they say Premiere is still here. So if I open up the Kajabi legacy themes, it should just open it up. Come on. There we go. These right here, there's your regular Premiere. Here are all the other ones. So if you've used one of these before, you can still use all this. But Encore does have different capabilities and different functionalities, which is why they rebuilt it. So let's start. We'll just start with Charlie. So we're going to pick Charlie and we'll hit get started. So if you guys want to pick a page, if you are making a template page as we go. Yes, if time is in that top section, Tanya, then that is Encore. So now, and I'm going to show you guys where you're looking. Okay, so if I click on a block, so I'm going to click on this header photo block first, right here. See how it says section settings, desktop layout, mobile layout over here on the left-hand side? This is only available on Encore because I can choose to hide the section. So if I'm making, for example, a long form sales page and I have very dense text sections, I might be okay. I might say, yep, that can show up on the desktop, but on my mobile layout, I want to hide that section. So if someone is viewing the page on their mobile, they won't see that section, but if they're on their desktop, they will. That is only available in Encore. That is completely different than down here on the lower right-hand corner. if I click the desktop and the mobile here, that just changes so I can see what it looks like. But that doesn't change what shows up. The left-hand column controls what shows up over here. So when you're starting to build in Kajabi, I really wouldn't worry about it at all. Just let things show up on desktop and mobile. As your skill set increases, as you know, kind of, yeah, as the skill set goes up and you want to start making those decisions, you have the capability to do so. Any questions? Okay, so let's go back here and we are going to, let's flip this back to desktop right here. So on the templated page, what I would do is I would take the time to put in the favicon that I want. So I can put in, I think mine is in here. Yep, it's right there. So I can add my favicon. I could add my fonts. Like I said, it's always good to have a templated standalone page so that if you do need to make something quickly, you can. Or you have team members that are making stuff when they're starting from a template, it just keeps everything on brand. I can switch my primary color away from Kajabi blue. I can change my fonts, adding all that. Hey, Brenda. So I'm adjusting those pieces. Any questions on like the setting stuff as you're setting up the template version? Nope. Okay. Then on the under details, what I would do on my template is I would switch it to draft. Okay. I would move this page because this is my template page. I'm not gonna use it. There we go. And I'm also gonna hide it from search engines. And I'm gonna click save. So once I have the page looking the way that I want it to look, then I go back out to my pages. So on the left-hand side. And this is now a template. And when you're making your pages, it's always good to use a naming convention. So obviously this is the test site, but I do this on my own. If I'm making a template, I put the word template in front of it so that you can search and find all your template pages. You could do the same thing with sales. So you could put sales and then whatever it is that you're selling. But especially when you've used your site for a long time and you have lots, Brenda's nodding in agreement, you have lots of pages, sometimes you forget what that brilliant thing was that you called it, and it's hard to find. You have to scroll through. I don't even know how many pages I have here. Let's see if it shows me. Does it say how many pages I have? It doesn't. I have a lot, and this is the test site. So using a naming convention will just make your life much easier.
Okay, so Tamsin, when you add a title there, that is internal title when it says landing page details. Okay.
Yep. So here, then I'm going to click on the 3 dots and I'm going to hit clone. Okay. So that's going to clone my templated page. It will give me making the new one. What I want to make sure I adjust is the details part. So I always do the behind the scenes stuff first, because it's usually what we forget to do, but all of the colors and everything is set because we cloned it. So all we want to do is change the name of it. So we're going to click on details. There we go. And now I'm going to change the name and name it Contact Me. I'm going to change this. While you're working on it, you can put it in draft for sure. You can choose to obviously let search engines find it. There we go. Now, armed with our sketch of what we want to be on the page, again, it's working for us. You're definitely going to want to have a form on there. So that part we are going to go through. So if you guys have any questions, we can get those taken care of. So once it's opened, I think the whole world is on Zoom today. Okay, so I'm going to click add a section right here. And I'm going to put up in here in the search box up at the top, I can type the word form. So this will show you the different ways you could get a form onto your page. So we don't necessarily, want, you can do an opt-in form, but you could do a hero section with a form. That would look nice because you could put an image behind it. So we're going to choose that one. We'll click add. Okay, so here, we're going to click on the form first. And here, we're going to assume that you don't have a Contact Me form yet. All right. If you do, you can choose it. So let's see if I have done one. Yeah, so I have one in here. I would select it. Okay, that one is already set up right there. But if I don't have one, I go to edit my forms. That's going to open up a fresh window in Kajabi, and I'm going to create a new form. So I'm going to click new form. And so here, it's going to give you the name and the email. Leave those as is, but you're going to want to click add a form field. Okay, so this, it will, if you have made a custom field, it'll show up. But if you, so let's see, I think I have, yeah. So I created, which is what we'll do now. What question may I answer for you? Okay, so I could just insert that. Even if I used it on a different form, you can use custom fields across forms. They aren't stuck to just one single form. But let's say we didn't have that yet. So we're going to hit create new field. And we're going to, what's your, you can choose what you want it to be. I leave it as text. And because it's my Contact Me page, I make it required. You don't want people sending in their name and email on this form. No, if you're using it, you've got a question. So now those are the fields that you have there. You can reorder them. So if you want, you can put that, move it around however you would like. That's not a big deal. You can also choose if you want to use any of these after submission choices. So the only one that really to me is it makes any sense is if you have a confirmation page. Like if you want to create again, you could clone that template, but you could send them to a, thank you, we've received your question, we will answer it shortly. Here are here's the latest YouTube video, or here's the latest podcast video. So you can close the loop on the experience. So let me go back to the whiteboard.
Tamsin, I was gonna say, I'm sorry, I'm trying to follow along here.
No, you're
I'm trying
fine.
to do it simultaneously, which makes it really tough on a smaller computer. I completely just got lost because I was still freaking
Okay.
finding my favicon. But where is like that whole place that you're at right there? I mean, when we were back at the when you were back at the
On the page.
hold on a minute, let me go. Yeah, when you'd found your template,
Mhm.
you selected the template. Yep, I put my favicon in there, I saved it, and I went back, and then it says sections and settings and the details. How do I get to where you're at right
So here, okay, I'm gonna go back onto my page.
Okay, maybe that's where I need to be. Okay, hold on, maybe it's just I need to back up one more time.
Okay.
Okay, yep, I'm backed up there, okay.
I have to click on customize to get to where you are. So
Okay.
are you here?
I'm getting, I think, where you're getting.
Okay.
Except I chose a different template. It doesn't matter. I'm trying to get to the general location.
You're fine.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I don't. Yeah, I have something there, but it says different things, but it might be because I have a different form. I don't know.
You might have a different page layout. So these
Okay.
on this left-hand side, are these different?
Yeah. So
Okay.
that corresponds with the form that I have then.
Yes. So whatever
Okay.
page you picked, then did you add a form when I did that
No,
step? Okay.
I didn't, but I just totally got lost how you even got there. So.
Nope, you're fine. So on
Okay.
this,
So I
on
had to
this
just
page,
go to customize. Okay.
nope, you're good. If you click on add section at the bottom of that list, and then I typed in form into this box.
Right.
Are you there?
Yep. I'm
Okay.
there.
So I chose, you could choose any of these. I just happened to pick hero with form because I know that I can put an image behind it.
Got it.
So if I pick that and then I click add,
Yeah.
now this is on the page. I'm likely going to want to move it somewhere differently on the page. I didn't do that part. So I'm going to click, so let me click save. So I know that that will stay there. Now, if I click on form, it's going to mess with this box right here on the right-hand side. So if I click on form, now here is where if I have a form that's already made that I want to use, I can select it. What I
Got it.
did to make a new form is I click on edit your forms.
Okay.
Okay. That opens up a new window in Kajabi. So
Got it.
now I'm under on, and you can kind of see where you are. On the left-hand side is the master dashboard.
Mm-hmm.
See how forms is blue?
Right.
It's telling me that's where I am. So it jumped me out of website, which is where I was on a page, and now it dumped me over here into forms. So I clicked create a new form. So I'm going to open up what I just created.
Okay.
Okay, you with me?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I am. Sorry.
Awesome.
Thank you.
No,
It was one of those things where it would be easier, I think, if I were working next to you to have a larger monitor. it was trying to slide it out of the way, and then so I have this feeling I'm not going to be able to do it.
No, you are all good. And seriously, anytime when you are on like a bigger computer, you can always post in PBK and be like, hey, anybody near their computer that can walk me through this? There's usually one of us is up at some time. So, Okay, so what I was going to show you guys is this. I wouldn't send a notification to your team because then you're going to get 2 emails telling you that someone emailed you, unless you'd like to fill up your email inbox. I'm not a huge fan of that. If you're not using Kajabi email, thank you, sweetheart, then you can send it to your third party person. But this one, which is send the contact to a custom thank you page, I'm going to stop sharing Kajabi and I'm going to share the whiteboard to show you guys what it could. And again, this is not required. This is just really completing the loop of the experience that someone is sending you a question. So if on the, I'm right here on this contact me. So this is the form that I would use. So I'm using a form. And then I can take this template page, clone it again, and it's going to put a page right down here. Magically, thanks to my whiteboard. So this is one of the cloned template that I'm using as the thank you for the contact me page. So I could say something like, thank you for reaching out. We'll be with you shortly. Have you listened to this week's podcast? Or YouTube, or whatever you might want to give them. So that way, they've submitted this form. You've confirmed that you got the question, and you're taking them to a place that you'd like their attention. Read this week's blog post, listen to a podcast, watch a YouTube video, anything, whatever works for your business. You've just finished the experience. Any questions on that? It's good? Okay. Hello, Rick. Okay, so let's go back into.
And Tamsin, it's Kimberly. I just jumped on.
Hey,
I just saw it started now, so I'll start from the beginning. Just quick question. Are you using an email sequence to do this?
No.
Okay.
Not
Okay,
at all.
I'll watch from the beginning then.
Yep, not at all.
Okay, don't mean to.
This is just if someone is sending me a question from the website. So here, what I just drew on the whiteboard for the custom thank you page, if I'm providing that, I would then select the page here, and when they submit the form, they would see that page. So it is not, it's not required at all. So we're going to click save. So our form is done on that part. And now we got to go back, and that opened a new window. So we're going to go back to our original Kajabi page. I'm just going to click reload the page. Maybe. There we go. Okay. And what I also want to do, these blocks will become very confusing. So I am a huge fan of rename the block so that you know what you're using it for, which you can click on the 3 dots or hover over it till the little hand appears. and then click rename. So here, instead of hero with form, which, sorry, means nothing to me, I can write in contact me form. So I know, yep, that's my contact me. And this was my template, but let's say I don't want all these other pages or all these sections to show up. I can just, again, click on the three dots and then I hide them. So that's where, come on, there we go, hide. And I could hide this one. And then I could slide the contact me form up here. Just like that. And you know what, we're gonna take off this. I don't need an opt-in form there, which I know that's what that's doing. So this way, oh, I need to select the form. So here, even though I made that form, it didn't, I have to go in and select it. So here, I'm going to select the form that we made, which should be this contact me. The thank you page, I set on the form level. So I can set it here, you know, as a double backup, but the form is what's driving it. So we already set that at the form spot. So here, I can now see, okay, here's our, I can say, if you have a question, please ask me here and I'll answer as soon as possible. Just like that. Questions? Ready, good? So let me show you the FAQ because that's a common thing for a contact me page is to add the frequently asked questions. So here, if I type in FAQ, I can either do it as a stacked column or a grid. I personally like the look of the grid because it takes up less space and it has the same function. So here, all of these are what Kajabi calls accordion, which if I click on one of them, I can edit the text. So this could be FAQ 1, and then I can put in FAQ 2. FAQ 2, that. So click to save. So there's my FAQ, and I can drag them right here. I could have them show up below the questions, or I could put them right above the questions, just like that. So maybe I could answer their question before they sent it. Again, whatever design is going to work for your person. And then when your page is done, I'm going to show you how to put it into your nav bar. But any questions on anything so far? Okay, so we're going to grab our, let's get our checklist. So here, we're right here. We made that, we're on Trello. Okay, so we're on the Trello checklist and we did our template. We made it perfect. Now it's number 3, which is add the URL for the contact me to your navigation menu. So we need to get the URL. When we get that, we can get it from details. We could also preview the page and pull it from there. But right here, this is just as easy because we're already here. I'm going to hit copy. So that's the text. It tells me it's been copied to my clipboard. Now I want to go to website because that's where our navigation menus are. If I click on website, and you have no limit on how many navigation menus that you have. So you can, let's say you were running a membership or a mastermind and you wanted to have a way for people to ask you questions that was unique to them. You could make a nav bar for that product or wherever they have access to. But let's see here. Do I just have my main menu bar? You'll see we've played with these a lot. Okay, so here's the main menu right here. And we're going to click add link.
So Tamsin, you can change the nav bar per page.
You can if it is a landing page. So
Okay.
you can have a unique nav bar on standalone pages or pipeline pages, because those are standalone pages. You can't have a different nav bar on site pages. So if you set a nav bar for your website, anything that is a site page will have a singular menu. So, but standalone pages, products, those can all have different nav bars. So I click on link because it lets me choose what I want to add. And then I just type it in, contact me. And I put the URL right there. Click save. Then scroll down here. And if I want to reorder it, I can reorder it, put it wherever I want. But now that page is now linked on anything that I've selected the main menu for. Questions?
So I have a question. If I'm offering a free class,
Mhm.
and on that free class, I don't necessarily, I only want them to be able to go to my quiz, right? From the free class. Because
So
that's my,
inside a product,
yes, so that's my front door. So can I put a different navigation page on that? Or would that just
no?
be on the side of the product, you know, on those little sidebars? Where would be the best place to put that?
What I would do, so when you're dealing with your product, so we'll draw a temporary product here.
Mhm.
Okay. So here's, the image right there. Here's your logo right here. Here's the nav bar. Here's our post and product sidebars. So when they're in your product,
Mhm.
you're talking about a link to the quiz, not your contact me page, right?
Yeah, yes. I mean, they could do both, but
Okay.
we could have two things on there, but I can't remember how to change the thing on the side.
Oh, this quiz, if you're changing the thing on the side,
Yeah,
that
these little
is,
things.
yep, that's from the product sidebar option or the post sidebar option.
Okay.
This is the menu bar. So in your header,
Mhm.
this is where you select the menu. So
So you can change your menu and your sidebars. Is that what you're
correct.
saying?
Yep,
Okay.
correct.
So where do I, in a product? Okay, so the menu when you're inside a product is what you
Mhm.
just did.
Mhm. Yep, so if
Yeah.
I go into,
Thank you. And then I want to know how to do the sidebar also. I hope you guys, this is helpful. But
okay, so whether you're in a product or you're on a standalone page, so we're going to go into a product.
mhm.
but it's the same for pages. Your menu is going to show up in your header. So if I click on customize, so click on header.
Oh, I had no idea how to do that.
Yep. So you have to make sure that it's showing, because I can make the header disappear. Show my header.
Mhm.
To make sure that then right here it says show menu.
Mhm.
So then I choose whichever menu has the choices that I want. And then I click save.
So what if you don't have a menu that has the choices that you want?
Then you need to make one. Like I just did when I added the contact me, you
Mhm.
can make a new menu. So if you have, okay, they're in the product or they're on a certain page and you want to make a new navigation menu, you would go into website and then you would click on navigation. And you would click new navigation menu. So we'll call this free product strategy. Save it, add my link,
Cool.
put the link, put in whatever,
Mhm.
whatever links that you want. So this was contact me. There we go. Click save. So now if I want this menu to show up, again, on my page or in a product,
Mhm.
I go into the product, back to customize, back to customize again. Back to my header. Scroll down to my menu. Choose the one that I made and click save.
Awesome.
Mhm.
So can you also show us how to do the sidebars in the product?
Mhm.
Since you're right there.
Yep. So you want to go back, product sidebar. So on the left-hand side is what you can customize. So you click product sidebar. Then here, it's these things on the side. So here's the instructor one. I can drop this down to the bottom. I can move them around. And I can add any of these choices. So whatever choices are available, that's what I can add. And if I want to take something off that's there, I just click and delete it and click save. So the product sidebar is the easiest way to think about it is at your category level. Then the next level down is post. So you have to toggle in the bottom left-hand corner, you have to toggle over to post.
Okay, Tamsin, may I ask a quick question first?
Yeah,
On the product sidebar, can you hide it instead of delete it?
nope.
Okay.
So post,
Mhm.
then I have another section of real
Oh.
estate. So post sidebar, again, here I can add the content. These are, you'll see, are a little bit different than they were at the product
Uh-huh.
level because these are on the individual posts or the individual lessons.
So
So
that only shows up when you do that lesson.
nope,
That's-
it shows up for everything. You can't do none of the sidebars they are product specific. So whatever you put in a sidebar shows up across the entire product.
So regardless if you put it in as a post or you put it in as a sidebar.
Right. So you can't have one sidebar for one lesson and a different sidebar for another lesson. That you cannot do.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions for the contact me stuff?
I have a quick one, Tamsin.
Yeah.
So when your form is completed, I assume you get a notification of that via email then?
If you set to send yourself an email,
Okay, yes, I did. Otherwise, where does it land?
it will tell you that you have a submission on your it lands in my
Black hole.
it lands in my email with their question.
Okay.
I must have that box checked.
I checked
Yeah.
that box too.
Yeah,
So I was just
check
double
that
checking
box.
that.
Yeah, check
And
that box.
I asked in the side too, would you put a double opt-in on a form like this or no?
Mm-mm.
That's just a pain in the bum, right? And when
I
it
wouldn't
says,
when they're sending me a question.
yeah, pain in the butt for them.
Yeah.
And then I noticed that it said when I was creating the form, does this pass submission data to the thank you page? What is that? Do you know or no?
Unless you have, there's a lot. It doesn't do anything.
Doesn't matter. So don't turn it on.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. No. No.
Okay, gotcha.
There's a lot of discussion in terms of what does that or does it not do. I still
Okay.
tell you.
Okay.
So
And
I'm not
my
sending
very
anything out.
final little question is in terms of frequently asked questions,
Mhm.
what are some common ones that you get? I'm just trying to think. I'm brainstorming right now.
that I get,
Yeah.
mine are, can I work with you privately? Will you build my Kajabi site? When can I join
Right.
PBK?
How do I
can
get
I
into
hire-
Fit Mama for me or
Right. How do I, yeah. So like, what, how can I work with you? How are how do I access classes?
Right.
Trying to think other things with you.
like one for
Do I
me
need-
might be how do I work with you in person after this is all done, because I don't
Yep.
have that on my website really.
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, I would, an easy place to look is questions that people might post when you're posting on social media or questions that they ask when you're live streaming. So just the most popular stuff
Yeah.
that if someone was going to send me a question, that preemptively gives them the information that they might not need to then wait for a response from me to come back on.
Great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Do I need special equipment? Do I need, do I need a special meal plan? Like that kind of stuff is what I could see too for your people.
Can I do it if I'm vegan or if I'm keto
Right.
or if I'm
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a way of preemptively giving them their answer more quickly and or potentially saving you from having to answer a question.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I get asked. I have this knee injury or I have,
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Again, it's a
Personal
service
thing.
tool. Let me help answer your questions, but you can still ask me something.
Cool.
Kimberly,
Yes.
did you have a question?
Oh, I was telling you I have to go.
Oh, that's okay. I do too. So you're
But I
fine.
wanted to say thank you. I love this. And I put a question in the Facebook because you know me, I spent hours on it. So you can check it out.
Kimberly, 5 minutes and send up a flare.
Oh no, I know. And 2 hours yesterday, and I woke up this morning and I thought, well, maybe it'd be different this morning than it was last night. Literally, I'm that dumb. I thought, well, anyway, same problem.
Okay. All right. I'll check it out.
2 seconds, I sent you a Loom video.
Okay. I will check it out for you.
You're the best. Okay, you guys.
Thank you so much for Tamsin. This was really helpful because I've almost got that contact page done, which is something I know I wouldn't have had done if you hadn't done it today. So thank you. So grateful.
Go, Tanya.
You're so welcome.
We'll all get this.
Yes, you will.
Then we all
Any
get
other-
together and celebrate.
Exactly. The next co-working session, I'm doing the terms. If you don't schedule that one, I'm going to get that
I'm
done.
going to do that one tomorrow.
Oh, awesome.
Yep, I'm going to do that one tomorrow.
You mean the
It's
private?
Mackenzie's birthday tomorrow, so if I don't get it, I will watch the
Okay. Well, I'll ask you in PBK if we need to do it on Monday. I'll do it on Monday for you.
Are you talking about the terms and all the stuff on the
Site
bottom?
terms. Yeah.
Okay.
We're doing.
And
Tanya
Tanya, I
needs
did
site
mine. They're beautiful. I followed all of Tamsin's advice. If you want to
Instruction.
look on my website, it's gorgeous.
I'm just trying to with mine to figure it out because I'm still my website's still on WordPress. I haven't gotten around to moving it across yet, and I don't have terms on my website. But what I was thinking is if I create them in Kajabi, that I can just link them to my website for the time being, so they're there. And then once I finally get everything moved across, they'll be there and it'll be done. So
Mine look beautiful in Kajabi. They really
I'm sure.
easy to
Well
read.
done.
And they're all
Kimberly, what's your site? Since I'm kind of I'm an old new member.
No, oh, that's so nice. to
Ada is probably the oldest member here.
Oh,
Yes,
nice.
and this is the
In
first
terms
time I've
of how
actually
long you've
managed
been
to
with
show up.
PBK, right? Ada?
Yes.
Yes,
Exactly.
I've been with
It's,
PBK a long time, and knowing that I was going to utilize Tamsin's brain and meet some wonderful women, and I just have been
Aw,
super busy with my
love
own little
it.
life. Nothing like
Mm.
COVID to say, oh, I now have time. So, and it's a little bit of a time difference sometimes with those early meetings. It's like it's usually when I always have a class that I teach, but not now. So
there you
This is
go.
awesome. So I put it in the chat, but it is
Cool.
smart is the new perfect.com. And I
Awesome.
only have one thing to add to each of them, and I need to just sit down and do it, is the, Tamsin helped me with the phrase, force majeure,
Force majeure. Yes.
force majeure. And I have a paragraph to add to all of those. It won't take me long, but I
No.
need to add those.
Yeah. No.
But mine
Awesome.
are beautiful, and I just used Tamsin's everything that she has already done, and I made them pretty.
Awesome.
What we
Cool.
like. What we like.
I'll
All righty.
check it out.
Have a great weekend,
will-
everybody.
I will see you guys tomorrow.
Hey,
Thank you.
76 degrees in Portland, Oregon. Can you
Snowing
believe it?
and 32 in Michigan.
Yeah, can we talk about the snow again?
We're going out